Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a beginners slash I just downloaded the game type of guide for Raid Shadow Legends. I wanted to do an updated 2020 version and get that out for new players to have a resource for in 2020. So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, so admittedly, if you're a long-term subscriber of mine or a mid type, end game player, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of value out of this video. It's going to be, more targeted towards people who have just downloaded the game, are beginners, and I haven't done this for like 6 or 7 months. It's something that comes up almost every stream that I do in all of my comment sections. So I wanted to go ahead and, it's a new year, 2020, wanted to get an updated version of the beginner's guide out there. So yeah, first things first. If you just downloaded the game and you're kind of playing, you don't know what's going on, don't feel bad, don't feel stupid. Raid Shadow Legends, it throws a lot at you right out the gate. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of different areas. There's a lot of champions, a lot of buffs and debuffs, and so many things to learn. So I've been playing for probably 1,500 hours, somewhere around there, and I'm in a top 20 clan in the world. You can see Chofly Elite is rank 19. We've been as high as like rank 6. The rank kind of fluctuates, but yeah, anyway, the point is I'm still learning stuff. Like, I don't know everything. Basically daily I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, this champion does this, or oh, I could speed up my runs in this dungeon by doing this. I still learn from the community and from other players, despite having all of those hours and being in one of the elite clans in the world. So don't feel bad. You're gonna have a lot to learn, and it's an exciting time if you're a new player. So the first thing to cover is the 4 starting champions, which are Kayle, Elaine, Galek, and Aethel. You've either already picked one of those 4 starting champions, or you're watching this wondering which one is the optimal pick. If that's the case, if you're wondering which one is best, I'll keep it short and sweet. Kayle is the definite and obvious choice. The quick explanation is when you join a clan and you start fighting against the clan boss, Kayle places poisons, which are going to be a huge percentage of your damage in the early and mid game, is placing those poisons. So Kayle is going to outshine the other 3 and be able to help you contribute to your clan just more than the other 3. The second choice is probably a tie between Aethel and Elaine. You really can't go wrong with either one. Aethel's a little bit better against the clan boss, and Elaine might be a little bit better in terms of like speed farming the campaign and in the arena and certain other areas, but I would probably rank them Kayle 1, Aethel 2, Elaine 3, and Galek 4th. Now, don't feel bad if you picked Galek or someone who isn't Kayle. I picked Galek, who I technically just ranked 4th, and I turned out just fine. It didn't really screw me over or anything. It just wasn't as optimal as picking Kayle because I didn't have the poisons, and it was a little bit tougher for me to contribute in the early game clan boss, but if you grind hard, you play well, your account will end up just fine. So it's not like, oh, you've been playing for a week, you need to delete your game and find a way to restart and beat Kayle. So you'll be all right. That's just kind of my opinion on the 4 starting champions. I guess affinities are an important thing to cover. So when you go to like your champion index, you'll see on the bottom left of the portrait there's a little icon. This one's the purple triangle, that's Void. The red skull is Force. The blue fireball is Magic, and the green little energy bolt is Spirit. They kind of go in tandem with each other. They go in kind of a circle where Magic counters Spirit, Spirit counters Force, and Force counters Magic. And then Void is just kind of a separate thing. It doesn't counter anything, and it's not weak to anything. Void just is Void. It's not ever weak or strong to any of the other affinities. Because of this, Void is kind of viewed as the best affinity because it's just going to be the most consistent. You know what you're getting. It's never going to be strong. It's never going to be weak. It just is what it is, and that's just kind of why those champions tend to be more rare. The Void champions are more coveted by Plarium in terms of their summoning rates and where they come from in shards. So that kind of is your introductory to the affinities and how they affect each other. So your main source of acquiring champions is going to be the summoning portal. It's here on the left side of your town hall. There's mystery shards, ancient shards, void shards, and sacred shards. I know when I was a beginning player, I didn't know what the difference was between ancient shards and void shards, because if you click on the little eye, you see the odds. It's like, okay, so they're both the same to summon rares and epics and legendaries. So what's the difference? That confused me for a few days. The void shards are your only source of acquiring the void affinity champions. You cannot get them in from any other shard. And every champion from a void shard is guaranteed to be void. It won't ever be magic or force or spirit. It's always going to be void. And the other shards cannot give you a void. This means that void legendaries are extremely tough to get because the sacred shards have a massively buff chance, 6% instead of 0.5%. But sacred shards can't give you void legendaries. So there's no shard in the game that has higher than a 0.5% chance to get you a void legendary. But the non-void legendaries, you can pull sacreds and have a 6% chance. Now, when you're brand new, you probably just want to pull your shards when you get them because you need to acquire good champions and have something to develop on your account. Later down the road, maybe a few weeks or a month in or something, you might want to start saving up for events. Plarium, which is the company that, develops Raid Shadow Legends, they will do events and cycle them out, and they'll do like summoning events where you can get bonus rewards by pulling shards and stuff. So you may want to save for when they buff the odds of shards. They do that about once a month or so. They'll buff them. They'll double their chances of getting legendaries or something. So you may want to save for those types of events. But when you're brand new, don't feel bad about pulling your shards. You need to be summoning good champions. And the mystery shards, this is where you're going to get your food. Food is how you level up other champions. So like when you go to the tavern, this is your source of leveling up champions and, starring them up to the next level. You'll see that we start down here with 1-star champions and we go all the way up to 6-star champions, and you have to rank them up to do that. So we put 1 stars, you just take the stars times 10, and that's the maximum level that champion can be. So a 1 star is level 10, a 2 star is level 20, a 3 star is level 30, just like that. And when you get to that champion's max level, you can use champions of that same level to food them, rank them up. So see, if I put this 1 star level 10 in, I need a 1 star to rank it up. So I go to upgrade rank, I put a 1 star in, and now it will let me upgrade. If it was a 2 star, I would need 2 2-stars. If it was a 3, it would need to be level 30 with 3 3-stars. So you can see it gets exponentially tougher, and it takes a lot to get champions to 6 stars. It's going to seem very overwhelming when you're brand new. But yeah, you see that once I have the max level and the same, the 1 star and the 1 star feeding his food, boom, I can rank up. And you do that over and over and over until you get to the point where you have 6-star champions. And the purple stars, you see that this 4-star champion here has like yellow stars, and then my champions that I really use and I've spent a lot on, they have purple stars. Those are ascending. So ascending will unlock a new ability, typically at level 3, and it will also allow them to wear jewelry, rings, amulets, and banners. And there's a potion mixer here where you can kind of change the you can rank up your potions and stuff if you have too many of the bottom levels or whatever. So you just pick a champion, you click ascend, and you'll add these purple stars all the way up from 1 2 3 4 5 6. They have to be that star rank to get to that ascension, and that'll all make sense once you do it a few times. Okay, so in terms of the general walkthrough for like the game, we'll start up the top here, the Great Hall. This is where you fight. This is from medals that you get in the arena. I suppose I should go over all the different areas that you can play in first. So if we click on battle, we'll see campaign, dungeons, faction wars, arena, and clan boss. Campaign is where you're going to probably spend 90% of your time the first month you're playing the game. You're gonna want to do the campaign to get XP, and you're probably gonna want to farm the highest level that you can clear solo with your starting champion. Whoever you picked, that's probably going to be your campaign farmer for a while, and you want to play the highest level that champion can clear on its own. A couple notes: in Vladimir Strait, you can see this little icon here, the little vampire teeth. That is lifesteal, and each level drops a perspective weapon. Lifesteal is very good in this game for early to mid game you know, champions and players, you can put your campaign farmer in 4 pieces of lifesteal, and they will be able to heal themselves. It'll really help them solo a stage where they don't have to bring like a healer or something to help them stay alive. The lifesteal will help them out tremendously. So spend a lot of time here in Valdemar Strait in level 8 and farm yourself up a good lifesteal set to put on your starting champion once you get there. But admittedly, that's probably going to take a while. So you know, you'll get the HP, offense, defense, crit rate type sets on your way. And yeah, you just want to kind of, you know, clear levels and farm XP over and over and over and kind of spend your energy on that. I know when I was a new player, I made the mistake of getting too many 4 and 5 star champions. You don't want to spread yourself thin. You want to get your starting champion maxed out ASAP. Whoever it is, get them to 6 stars, 6-star ascension, max out their skills as fast as possible. You want to concentrate your power instead of spreading it thin, because that will enable you to snowball and compound your progress by getting that super strong champion that can really carry your team in dungeons and campaign. So I should also go, when I talk about maxing out a champion, we talked about ranking up and ascending. I should also talk about skill books. So if we go to upgrade skills, we'll pick a champion I haven't really done anything with. So this rare here. So you'll see here 163 rare books, 14 epic, and 54 legendary. Obviously, the rare books are for rare champions, the epics are for epics, and the legendary are for legendaries. You can use like legendary books on you know, lower tier champions. You should never do that. Use legendary books for legendaries and use epic books for epics. Do not ever use higher tier books for like rare champions. Just be patient and wait till you have the books. But yeah, you're gonna want to use these rare books like this on your starting champion and upgrade their skills. You can't, I know when I was new, I was super confused. I was like, okay, I want to upgrade this skill. And I'm like sitting here clicking. I'm like, how do I get these skill books to apply to this skill? What is going on here? The skill upgrades are completely random. You can't choose it. So you'll see a lot of people, they'll upgrade one book at a time and kind of see where it's going, which skill it's applying to. And like, if you don't want to upgrade this skill, you would just use books until you get like this one maxed out or something, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm done using books because I don't really care about the books that go to this ability. So a good route to go is use them one at a time so you can kind of see where they are applying. One thing I do want to talk about really quickly is make sure down in the video description to join my Discord server and maybe even join like Plarium's official Discord, because there's thousands of players to get in touch with, talk strategy with, and ask questions with. So that'll all be down in the video description to help you out. I know I'm bouncing all over the place. It's because there's so much to cover. My brain is kind of scrambling right now in terms of, and I didn't want to write a script because I want to come off naturally. Like, I just want to talk and help you, but that's kind of why I'm bouncing all over the place. So yeah, getting back to this. Dungeons, this is where you're going to farm your ascendancy potions, which is all of these things on the left, and then your gear is all of these on the right. You're not going to want to like grind these really. You're going to want to be acquiring your gear mostly from the campaign until you really have like 5 and 6 star champions, and then you can start diving into the dungeons. And if you go down here to like your missions and challenges, these will walk you through and kind of introduce you to these different mechanics in the game. You want to kind of slowly focus on your missions and just kind of make sure you're progressing. There's one more called challenges. I've already completed them all, so mine doesn't show up anymore. And also your daily quests, you want to make sure you're completing those to get the free 10 gems and XP to level up your account, because as you level up your account, your max energy will go up, and you know, that just means you'll be able to get more value out of each energy refill and stuff. So yeah, this is your energy up here. This is your arena tokens. This is your silver, which is used to upgrade artifacts mainly. And then your gems. This is like the premium currency where you can refill your energy and do all sorts of special stuff with your gems. All right, so faction wars. You're really not going to worry about this when you're new, because this is where you can only use champions of a certain faction. And excuse me. And so like you can only use undead hordes for the undead horde crypt. And you know, you might want to do like level 1 or level 2 or whatever, like clear what you can every day, because the glyphs are pretty good. But admittedly, you're not going to want to focus on this for a while. It's definitely a low priority for you. And then the arena. this is something that a lot of people neglect, and you shouldn't. The arena, a lot of people, I recommend that you set your defense as one champion to kind of keep your rank artificially low. Like, let other people beat you up on defense so that you can keep your rank from getting too high. Because when we go to our Great Hall, out here in the main area, go to your Great Hall, we can see here, you look at my stats, my win rate is 104-0. You want your win rate to be like 90%. Obviously, when you're new, that's going to be tougher. You're probably going to be like 50-50 or something while you're learning the game. But you want your win rate to be really high because you want to maximize the efficiency of your tokens and acquiring medals. And I've got a whole video about Great Hall, so I don't want to go too crazy into it. But definitely fight in the arena, and don't kill yourself trying to get the highest rank possible. It will come as you level up your champions and acquire better champions and get better gear. You will naturally progress. You just want to make sure you have a good win rate, so don't feel bad about keeping your arena score a little bit low so that you can kind of stay where you belong. Clan boss, when that unlocks, I've got whole videos going over the clan boss, so I don't really want to, turn this into a video that's 5 hours long and I go into every single, little nook and cranny of the game. But that's just where your clan will daily, help each other, go towards a certain difficulty of boss, and then when you kill it, you will all get a reward. Alrighty, so also one thing I do want to point out for you newer players is in the portal, you can click fusion over here, and then you'll see Relic Keeper, Rosin, Scarhide, and Broadmow are able to be fused. You want to prioritize fusing Rosin. Rosin is a very good legendary champion that can be used basically everywhere, so definitely work towards him. If you get these rares down here, like it'll show you Magus and Marked. If you get these champions, save them and get them to level 40 and get them to 4-star ascension and start fusing these epics. If you get these epics, you can skip the step below, but you want to work towards fusing Rosin. Don't feel bad if it takes you a few months or whatever. It's gonna take some time. It's a legendary champion, and it's not supposed to be easy. But so don't feel bad if it takes a while. But you want to work towards that because Rosin is down in the video description. I also have a tier list where I rank every single champion in the game, 1 through 150 or whatever that rarity is. And I have Rosin ranked pretty high for a legendary. He's like up in the excellent tier. So he's going to be a guaranteed legendary that all of you out there can get. And it was very cool of Plarium to add this as a fusion, in my opinion, because he's very generally useful and he's very helpful for new players. So definitely prioritize kind of slowly working towards this. I wouldn't really go after Relic Keeper or Broadmow. You will have to do Relic Keeper for your missions eventually, but I don't really recommend going for it. He's okay. He's just not amazing. You definitely want to work towards Rosin, though. 800 gem masteries. These weren't a thing when I was new. Your masteries, let me pull this up. So on our characters, we'll have artifacts, which is our gear, skills, which just shows you their abilities and how many books you've spent and stuff, masteries. When I was new, we couldn't purchase these with gems. Like now, you can spend 800 gems and just max out the masteries. That's one of the best investments you can make on your account as a new player. Prioritize your campaign farmer, your starting champion. Don't feel bad about buying their masteries. It's worth it because your first Minotaur grind, you'll understand as you play the game, you'll get all these mechanics I'm talking about. Your first Minotaur grind is crazy. Everybody remembers their first Minotaur grind. We're talking 60, 70, 80 hours in one dungeon, straight like to max one team's masteries. Obviously, it gets much better. Like for me, it only takes like 70 minutes to fully master out a character, but for you it's gonna take like 30-40 hours. So it's definitely a pretty good investment for new players to just go ahead and go in here and spend the 800 gems on the masteries for your campaign farmer, your damage carry, your Kayle, your Elaine, whatever you picked as your starting. It's not a bad investment to spend these 800 gems on those masteries. But yeah, in terms of artifacts, the basics, I have videos covering all of this stuff, artifacts and masteries and all sorts of different stuff. So I don't really want to go too in depth on that. The gem mine, I have a video on that as well. It's worth upgrading to the max level if you're going to be a long-term player. It does pay for itself in about 100 days, I think. The sparring pit is where you can get just AFK XP, like while you're sleeping and stuff. The optimal route is to unlock all of the slots first. Instead of just having one maxed out slot, I would unlock them all and then upgrade them. You know, it's just AFK XP. It does pay for itself over time, similar to the gem mine. If you're going to play for a while, it ends up being worth it, but it's not a priority as a new player. That's something you can, the gem mine, I would say, is a bigger priority than the sparring pit. But honestly, as a brand new player, you should probably be saving up your gems to go under the gem shop and buy this big shard pack. Save up your gems, get 11 ancient shards. Odds are, out of those 11 ancient shards, you'll get 1 or 2 champions that are really going to help your account. And you know, when you're a new player, you really need to be summoning champions that help your account, champions that are worth investing in. Remember, my tier list down in the video description will show you every single rare champion ranked, and you can see, oh, okay, I got this champion, they're pretty good, or I got this champion, they're trash. That will help you kind of discern, because there's like 400 something champions. You're not going to know which ones are good and which ones aren't. Use my tier list as a resource to help you understand which champions are worth investing in and where they all rank. So, yeah. I'm probably missing something. I'm sure I am. I could go on and on and on for 10 hours walking you through the game, but I wanted to, you know, at least cover the basics and do what I could here, just kind of walking you through. And I have hundreds of videos on my hundreds of videos on my channel. I'm getting disoriented now. I've been talking too much. Over all of these different topics, and join the Discord so you can ask people questions. Search the channel. The odds are, if you're curious about something, I have a video on it. I have a spreadsheet about it, something like that. But yeah, if you do have questions, drop it down in the comments. I will try to get back to people. Obviously it's hard to reply to every comment, but I'll do my best to respond to what I can. And you know, feel free to join the Discord and message people as well. So yeah, that's gonna kind of do it for this video, and I hope it helped you out. And if you're a new player, welcome to Raid. I think you're gonna enjoy the game. It's got really great art, and there's so much to learn, and you know, lots of, you know, fun to be had in terms of summoning new champions and kind of progressing your account. It's a pretty good, you know, mobile game in terms of, you know, a summoning, you know, grinding for gear type game. So yeah, that's gonna do it. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.